What's good, YouTube? We are here to talk about some prospects, and we're not gonna go. This not a ranking. This not a deep dive, but this my guy. This dude have the nerve to put the champs. Look,
It's still on there from
he
the last interview that we had.
he won a home league, and now he the champ. But yeah. So we're gonna go over some prospects that caught Daniel's eye, and and I'll add to whatever I've seen. So, who you got for me today?
Yeah, so this is just me sitting up on Saturday when I can't catch a game, catching a game, and some of the guys that just kind of popped out, like, man, that's some good football players. You got I saw Ohio State play a few times, and so the players that were highlighted in that was Chris Olave. And you also have Garrett Wilson. They kind of pop. They some receivers that made plays, caught the ball, tough. And it seemed like any NFL team would like to have those players on their team. And so that's something that, like, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so they probably not. We don't need a receiver at this point unless we trade Amari Cooper, which does with the rumors. But other than that, like for the fantasy football, man, any team to get those two players, depending on the quarterback and the system that they're in, could possibly have a good season. What's your take on them?
So, when it comes to Olave, I when I first seen him, which was a year ago, I was not impressed. It was just like, is this dude a possession receiver? Like all I seen was the same out routes, like out routes each time, and I wasn't impressed.
Mhm.
But when I watched him this year, his tape is like he was doing more things, and I was like, man, y'all been on hiding this guy. Like y'all haven't been making the most of his talent.
Yeah,
This dude. When I seen him running other routes, I was like, he's fast and
yeah.
he can run any route. I'm like, this dude is a beast. Like I felt totally different when I seen him run different routes. It's like instead
Uh-huh.
of just sitting on the same out route each time. But yeah, so I'm waiting to see what his combine numbers gonna be to see if
Yeah.
he fit into my prototype. And then I'll even go higher on him if he fit into the thresholds, the athletic thresholds I like of a wide receiver. Then Garrett Wilson, he the one, bruh.
He said he the one.
He the one. It's either as my wide receiver one in the class, it's either Traylon Burks or him. When it comes to the film, Traylon Burks is gonna pop on film.
Hmm.
But when it comes to just peeping out the different skills,
Yeah.
he's the one I see a lot of different skills with that I'm fine with being my wide receiver one. You know, it's not a guaranteed chance that it's gonna work out with Traylon Burks, but I think it's more of a guarantee than this guy would fit in any system, Jared Wilson. So
Yeah.
you know,
Like I
I
said,
feel
I haven't really done a deep dive just yet, and I'm said so I'm just kind of looking at the side. Like when I watched them play, um, I didn't even know how tall, big or tall they were as far as like Chris Olave and Gary Wilson. Seemed like they had pretty decent size, but Olave
what
seemed like he was kind of small and slender. But
it's no official
yeah, into the combine.
no, yeah, because I
Yeah.
can give you what they say, and they'll show up 2 inches shorter. They say Olave 6'1", 185, so he the slighter one, and they got Gary Wilson at 6 foot 193.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, that's just what my eye saw, and they just kind of pop. And then after the combine come out, you're gonna have a whole new ranking system. I just opened up the CBS 100 ranking list, and I know they got Garrett Wilson at number seven
That's
prospect.
that's that's disrespectful. Oh, is that a number seven wide receiver or number seven prospect?
He's number seven prospect. Number
Okay,
seven.
all right,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
understandable.
yeah. So
Okay,
actually,
I'm
he's
about to
on
say.
here looking at this. He's the number one receiver that they have in
Yeah,
place
yeah,
right
that
now.
that makes more
Yeah.
sense. Because if you would have told me number seven wide receiver, I said that's disrespectful.
You can't. You ain't
That's
gonna have seven.
disrespectful.
But I do remember this. Like on the team, Chris Olave was the person, like the main person they were trying to get the ball to, though. Like he was like the highlighted one. And then the first game I saw them. Well, I saw him play other games, but the one I really paid attention to was the Alabama Ohio State game for the national championship the year before. and because I was trying to check out Patrick Surtain as a corner, and I thought he did a good job against those guys. But those guys, like you have to be a good corner to cover those guys. But those guys were, like I said, Chris Olave, he comes in and out his breaks. He runs good routes. He knows what he's doing. And then Gary Wilson actually got him one time, but the ball didn't get to him. But I saw how quick he was and how shifty he was. And I'm like, oh man, and he got some juice too. I think both of them
Yeah,
guys probably going to get 40 times, but Gary Wilson, I guess he might be a little bit faster. I'm not sure though. We'll see.
yeah, and he might be. I mean, as far as times coming out of high school, he do have the fastest 40. So, and that's one of the reasons I got him ranked over. Is like
Yeah,
the
they'll
from
be
the athletic testing I got from him, he already fit into my wide receiver thresholds that athletic thresholds that are like. Plus, he's an early declare. Olave is a senior, so
Oh, he was seen. Oh, so and that's why they probably see more potential in him. And then that's what scouts do in the NFL teams. But like I said, I remember when DK Metcalf and AJ Brown was coming out. AJ Brown was the go-to guy. You know what I'm saying? AJ Brown was the one that the quarterback was going to, had a lot of catches, and he was the polished receiver. But who got drafted first in that
AJ
draft?
Brown,
AJ Brown got
homie.
drafted. Everybody was
Yeah.
talking about DK after the
Oh,
draft. I
that's
knew after the
because
comeback.
that's because that man a big man and ran like he ran. That's why
Yeah,
everybody talk about him. He ran like a gazelle. Now
yeah,
when it came to the agility drills, nope, he
yeah.
wasn't showing out.
So then I think he with the right team with Seattle. So yeah, it all depends on what team you go to and what team highlights your skills. So during the Alabama game, I also noticed, and I watched this guy this year, Jameson um, Jameson Williams. James, yeah, Jameson Williams. Now he got some juice. He got some juice for sure. And I think he was up there with all the other wide receiver talents. He had
You did use the
he came
word
out of
was.
nowhere because Michi played with the other guys. Michi played with Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle and all them guys. And I seen him. He would get some burn here and there. And so he actually and Jake and I'm gonna bring him up too. John Michi. He just seemed like he was their dependable receiver. He was the one that he was like their go-to guy. But you could see that Jameson Williamson had some juice.
I don't know if it was the football field, but
Mm-hmm.
both of them tore their ACLs, so that's going to drop them. Both of them
Yeah,
tore
that's
the
gonna drop him in the
ACL.
draft.
Was that the exact same game? I'm trying to remember. It was
No,
either the
no,
it was either the exact same game or the game right before Mechie, and then the next game, Williams. It was either the same one
like
or
the
like
next
two
game.
games in a row.
It was two
I don't
games back to
remember.
back, but I think it was
Okay,
in different state. Yeah, yeah. Because Mitchell was on the
but
sideline for the national
yeah,
championship, and it
so
was highlight. Then Jameson Wilson, when he went out, then I knew there was going to be some issues
oh
because
yeah, when Williams went
he
out, I was
type
like,
receiver.
oh snap, here we
They
go.
could.
But Mechie, I like Mechie. He do fit in my athletic prototype already, but
Yeah.
I don't like him. I mean, I don't rank him high amongst the receivers, and I don't like him more than I like Williams. But Williams really stood out. Not only an early declare, but he was getting like a high yards per reception. Like I said, he was very high up there, probably within my top four easily, but
But he came
I
out
got
of
to knock him
nowhere. I
down.
don't, I don't really remember him before this
Well, that's
season.
Alabama. That's Alabama receivers. But
Yeah.
you know what? I take that back. He was a transfer. I forgot where he transferred from. He was
Oh,
a transfer. Just like they just got a running back transfer that you gonna be wondering where he came from because he gonna kill it. He's already good, and they was able to get him to transfer over to Alabama. They're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong for doing that. But he is gonna kill it when you see him. You just don't know. But
oh man.
Williams, like I said, he got knocked down for me because of that torn ACL.
Oh yeah, he's
And
gonna go down. He's still probably gonna be a first rounder, so that just let you know how good he was.
well, if he a first rounder, that really lets you know how good he is. I know,
Yeah,
because he's not gonna be able to show the speed off he got in the combine or anything. So,
yeah, he know.
but as far as when it comes to fantasy wise, he gonna be sitting on the waiver wire for a while unless somebody gonna just carry him for weeks because you're not gonna see him maybe until what week 8 or something,
Yeah.
later on in the season.
Well, they got these guys coming back from ACLs quicker than ever. Like, what they gonna do about Odell Beckham? Some people saying
Well,
they expect to see
it just
numbers.
happened though.
That's what I'm saying. Well, both of them, but Odell Beckham
Yeah,
just
that's what I'm
happened.
saying. This just happened. Like
Some
I'm
people
talking
expect
about
him
it.
to be back this season, at least by the end of the season for sure. But I'm saying, like,
But
they
that's what I'm
saying,
talking about. So they're gonna be sitting on a bench. They're gonna be sitting on your bench or on a waiver wire for a while.
yeah, no,
You just
yeah.
gotta
As
keep
far
them
as
in your
fantasy wise, yeah. As far as
yeah. You
fantasy
just
wise,
gotta keep
yeah,
them in your mind.
yeah,
When it comes to dynasty, of course,
dynasty.
dynasty is kind of like the NFL draft. Like I said, they gonna take a knock for it because you're not gonna be an immediately player, but everybody that know they got talent, you gonna be
You
willing
stash
to
them
take
away.
the weight.
Yeah, yeah.
Who else you
He.
got?
So then I'm gonna just go to some running backs that I seen because we talking about Alabama. Now Alabama, like they struggled this year. They running backs wasn't as good or great as they normally are. But Brian Robinson Jr., you know, he was an Alabama running back, so you got to give him respect. And what you got on him?
Well, I honestly think Saban was doing him a favor because he been around so long and was waiting for his turn. I think Saban put him out there. I think he got better running backs, behind him. But
Because it seemed like
the man, when I say he was waiting, this man a red shirt senior. How people usually don't stay that long in Alabama.
he was just
They
waiting.
either gonna start their senior year, or they transferring out of there. They don't wait,
Yeah,
But with Brian Robinson, he's all right to me. I thought he was gonna come out last year, and I thought he was gonna be a value in for fantasy because I was like, oh, not that many people gonna know about him. I'm gonna pick him up. Know he go your
yeah,
skill. I think with him being from Alabama, of course, he's gonna get some draft capital. Even though
uh-huh,
he don't shine in this group of running backs, but he's gonna
yeah.
get some draft capital being from Alabama. And who knows, he might go out to that combine and show out because
He might,
athletic
yeah.
running
You
back,
just never know.
Alabama running backs,
He was
that's what
highly
they do.
recruited.
They freaks.
Yeah, yeah. And he was behind a great running back for all those years. You know what I'm saying? Just didn't, a couple of great running
but
backs.
as of now, he's far down on my list, like 10th, 11th, like
Yeah, the only reason like I said, this is just somebody he played okay, and he was an Alabama running back. Now and then another guy that kind of fall in this same category is Master Teague. I watched Ohio State play a lot of games. It seemed like he had some good. I seen him play some good games, but I know he got his position taken by a freshman this year. So he got a long way. But he played some good games. Just watching them on TV. What you got on Master Teague?
I think he was a high recruit, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's
like I
gonna be
said,
a backup somewhere. I mean, he do fit my athletic prototype for running backs, but his
yeah.
whole career I got him down for catching only 11 passes. Like I don't know if he can catch the ball that well. I really didn't see nothing stand out. Matter of fact, in my notes, I got nothing special.
Nothing special. Yeah. I
Nothing
mean, yeah.
special. I saw that the only good things I got that he's a 4-star recruit, so he's gonna always find a team, and he has some vision. But
It seemed
if
like he
he
was a
gets,
big dude. What's his size?
I
Seemed like
did
he had
put that
right
if
size.
he 5'11", 225, he's fast though. So I mean, don't get he might end up putting up a good speed score for his
Yeah.
size because
He seemed like
I
he
did
kind
put
of big. He like a
I
big and
put
fast guy.
I
Like he
put
wasn't
if
too
he
chippy or anything. And Brian Robinson not either.
I
But
put if he
Master
get
T.
past the secondary, he won't get caught from behind. So so and I think he's a speed freak for his size because 5'11", 225, that's healthy.
Yeah,
If
he
you go
healthy
out
now.
he ran a 4.5 coming from high school.
In high
So
school.
4.5 is damn good for a high schooler. That
Yeah,
that
yeah,
means he might can go out there and run a 4.4. If he ran a 4.44 for
yeah.
his size, I mean, you gonna raise some eyebrows. But The tape didn't stand out at all. The tape wasn't good.
Yes.
PFF didn't grade him well either. So
He just runs straight and he just fat. Like if the hole is there, he can hit it. But if it, yeah, I didn't see him make too many moves. Another guy that I got so those guys that I just seen, but the guy that had the best game is Kenneth Walker Jr. I watched that Michigan State Michigan game, and I ain't gonna say I was like too impressed with him. I just like, but it seemed like Michigan State was opening up holes, and Michigan was looking like they were running in mud. So, but he had an excellent game, man. I know he had over like 200 yards, put him on the national scene at that game. But I know they fell off after that game. I think. What you got? What's your notes on Kenneth Walker the third?
now Kenneth Walker, I think the NFL like him more than the fantasy world because
Mm-hmm.
we got a big question mark in his pass catching skill. He doesn't have that many passes. He has only like 19 career passes caught. And so when it comes to the combine, we're definitely going to be paying close attention to the drills of pass catching because when it comes to fantasy, who offers the highest ceilings is pass catchers. But this is the best running back in the draft as far as running. Just pure runner, he's the best in
Uh-huh.
the draft, hands down. And it's funny, he only produced really one season because whatever program he came from was like had him as the backup running back. Was not putting him in the starting position. I think put him in backup running back like 2 years in a row. So,
Yeah.
but he managed to transfer, came out. Now he's the early declare. With that one. When it comes to running back, you don't need multiple years of production for them to come in the NFL and show that they can do what they do. All they need is the opportunity.
Yeah.
And he won the Dope Walker Award for
Mm-hmm.
being the best running back. When I looked at the tape, I saw vision. He looks fast. He did look kind of small, but he looked fast. He
I
was a
thought the same
patient.
thing. He looks small
He,
on TV, but if you look at his stature, like you look at what it say about him, he got a nice little
5'10",
build to him.
210. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a patient runner, great footwork. He paused opponents with a stutter step. I mean, he left them on pause. Only thing I thought he had, yeah, I thought he played some questionable competition when I was looking at his highlights, but that's
Yeah.
about the only knock. Like I said, had a good PFF grade. Lance Zerlin, who was the NFL analyst,
Yeah.
gave him a great score, scouting score. Matter of fact, the top scouting score is just one notch in front of Bryce Hall. But you know, I think the NFL might draft him as the first running back off the board. Now he's
Yeah.
not going to be the first fantasy running back off the board unless he blow us away at the combat with his pass catching skills. But
Yeah.
he might go to first off the NFL.
Another running back. Well, the guy was impressive because I think I watched Texas A&M play some games, and Isaiah Spiller. He seemed like he was real strong. I think he kept them in a lot of games, and like just when you watch, it was like he was the heart and beat of that team. And I thought they was gonna be something to deal with this year. I know they beat Alabama, but they kind of the expectations was not met with the team. And then I know the quarterback got drafted in the second round last year, but that quarterback wasn't the best player on the team. Or just like he had some flaws to me, but Isaiah Spiller is the one who kept that offense steady going, and he's always been a good player and a solid player. So what's your notes on him?
I didn't love him, I would say,
Mhm.
but a lot of skills. I'm waiting to see his athletic numbers
Yeah.
to see how much I really like him. But elite pass catcher, had like 20 receptions every year he played. Early
Mhm.
declare, early breakout age. He's the youngest running back in his draft, so he has a lot of potential. On
Yeah.
6'1", 215.
So
You
you want
know,
two fifteen.
four-star recruit. He has NFL pedigree because his family in the NFL already. Runs like a bat out of hell from the backfield. Good footwork. Look like he has vision. Initiate contact. I do not like that. I want my running
Keep
backs.
over.
I want my running backs to shy away from contact, not initiate it. He can be slippery, and he was a dope walker semi-finalist, so he was right there in the running for being one of the best running backs on this year in college football.
So when we talk about pedigree, I didn't know he had somebody that played his family. Spiller is I
There you
think
go, Spiller. CJ
I
Spiller,
know he
man.
probably I got some tight ends and some
Yeah,
yeah.
CJ
So
Spiller, man.
CJ Spiller, yeah, and all kind of. So we got James Cook, and I was impressed with both the Georgia running back. You know, I mean
There
they
you
look
go,
like
NFL pedigree.
so you had NFL pedigree with James Cook, and then Zaire White was the starter on that team, and so I think he was highly recruited too. But those
Zaire
guys,
White was the star.
I think Zaire White was the
I don't,
starter.
I don't, I don't know if he was the star like this last year or whatever, but he was definitely highly recruited. He is a 5-star recruit, but
Yeah,
wasn't impressed whatsoever. Nothing stood out with me when it comes to Zaire White, dude. Even though he was the best thing, he was a 5-star recruit, but dude,
he was
he's a straight
yeah.
line runner. He
I
do
think I
look
remember he was
fast.
highly recruited. Yeah,
He's 6 foot 215. He looked fast. He's tough, but
yeah,
I doesn't look special, but serviceable. May
yeah,
be good if he has an O line. That's what I put in my notes. Now he did get some good scouting grades, but as far as for me, I mean, pass catching this question on his 17 for
yeah.
his career, like so. There's a lot of questions for me. I got him way down there. Like not too many things stood out.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, I like I said, he could be serviceable, and he'll show out with a good old line, but he's a straight line runner to me. I didn't see anything special.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I mean, I got some other running backs that I've seen, but to me, it's not that great of a class. You're right. At the end of like I said, I just saw them on TV. These are the people that had good games or kind of stood out. Another one was Hassan Haskins. He played for Michigan, and he just had some good games. But I don't know how solid an NFL running back is going to be, or even fantasy value. I don't know what kind of thing he's going to have for that.
It's gonna be hard to stop him from getting yards, and he's a goal line specialist. He's big
Mm-hmm.
and strong. Had a great PFF grade. Not that high of a scouting grade, but he's 6'1", 220. I don't know. He might just get lost in the mix.
Yeah.
You know, he probably just get lost in the mix. I mean, now I will say this is you know what I'm gonna start calling these guys with good potential. I see
Mhm.
opportunity running back. If he gets the opportunity, he gonna show out. But
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna get the draft capital to be able to get the opportunity. So
And then in today's league, it seems like that's what you got. Like you want to have two backs, one that can come in and develop. You probably already have your bell cow already there, and then like I said, you give this person opportunity, come in, don't fumble the ball, run hard, get us some yards. But none of these guys do seem that special to me either. Yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, they had some good games, but NFL is another level.
yeah, there's no special running back in this class. The best one for me is Brees Hall. If Kenneth Walker was a pass catcher, he'll be the best one.
Yeah,
I'd say that right now. But it's Brees Hall is a great pass catcher and offers the
um,
highest ceiling due to that.
yeah,
But I'm not saying that he done anything great. He just checked a lot of boxes. He checked a lot of boxes for me. But
yeah.
like I said, Kenneth Walker, he showed me he could catch the ball, or he proved it in the NFL. He'll surprise Brees Hall real fast.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about Brees Hall and all that. Like those, I didn't watch them play. I just didn't see Iowa State play. And then it's some other guys that I know got pretty good ranking, but I hadn't seen them play.
Yeah, the
Some
best
guys.
thing for him, nothing
Mm,
stood out on film like that. I mean, nothing like stood out, popped on film. That's what I would say. But I
yeah,
mean, he's got some big running backs. He's 6'1", 215. Got a lot of big running backs in this class. So 4-star recruit accelerates well out the backfield with a good line. He would be very productive. I put questionable competition though. If he gets on the outside, he's gone. Catches the ball
yeah,
well. Bill Walker Awards finalists. One of the special thing with him, he was the leader for all-purpose yards. That's
All-purpose yard.
all-purpose yards. He was the leader this year.
And then I'm gonna just mention some other names, honorable mention. We don't have to go into detail in them. Then I can talk about a few wide receivers, but other ones that kind of caught my eye, they had some good games. I was like, they run pretty tough. But Abram Smith, Kennedy Brooks, and that was it. Yeah, Abram Smith and Kennedy Brooks. They look like they from the Big 12. You can't trust those defenses all the time, but those guys.
Both of them are red shirt seniors, but I do like Kennedy Brooks.
Kennedy Brooks. Yeah, he had a little slasher and he got nice size on him, look like to me. But like I said, he'd be serviceable, but none of these guys are like ultra talented. So but they'll make it to the NFL. Then you got now these are two. Okay, so let me see how Charleston Rambo, since we're going to Oklahoma, he played in the Big 12 at first, and then he transferred to Miami. And I think he was highly recruited maybe too, and they expected a lot of things from him. But he's somebody that showed up from time to time. I seen him make plays. Do you have anything on Charleston Rambo?
I really like Charleston Rambo until he only got invited to the Shrine Bowl. And
is he gonna be at the combine? Is he combine invited?
I'm not even sure, but that raises a red flag when you don't get invited to the Senior Bowl. That lets me know that you're not high on the NFL, radar. So that's the problem with that. But I really liked him. If he do fit my prototype, 4-star recruit, kick returner, gets yak, playmaker abilities, gets open, tracks ball well. I liked him, but I might be alone in that.
I'm looking at CBS rank. I'm trying to find him now. They got him ranked 197 player.
There you go.
I know he looks slender. He was 6'1", 185.
We do got official measure for him since he went to the Shrine Bowl. He's 6 foot 180. So
6 foot 180. I mean,
and that's fine for a wide receiver. That's fine for a wide. I'm not going to triple on that for a wide receiver.
So then, now these two guys, I want to see how they do in the combine because they flashed at times, and I didn't even see him play this year, but. Justin Ross, I thought he had so much potential. I was waiting to see what he was going to do for the next few. Like I remember him as a freshman, and I was just waiting to see how his career was going to develop and see where he was going to get drafted. What you got on Jason Ross?
Justin Ross.
Oh, Justin Ross.
Right.
Justin Ross.
Yeah, I don't like that you're looking at my guy. Look, this my Ross. Guy right here. This my guy. Like I don't like that you're looking at my guy. So here's the problem with Justin Ross. Justin Ross had a medical issue, which down spiraled his career. Yeah, like something with his spine. So he was out of season. When he came back, it said that he was playing through an injury, like a foot injury. So he didn't look that good this last year. So a lot of people down on him. Like a lot is riding on an NFL combine for him. Like he needs to pass the medical and go out and kill the combine.
Yeah.
So if those two things happen, he can get graced with a second. He's getting drafted in the second round. Like people want to see him succeed. Believe me, he's on the NFL radar, but he got to go. He got to go show out for the.
He got to go show out. He probably will. But I know he that kind of athlete. Yeah, he just seemed like that kind of athlete.
I remember seeing that freshman year. Hey, bro, I had high praises. I like one of the best wide receivers I ever seen. And this was his freshman year.
His freshman, that's what I'm saying.
You know what you gonna see my excitement by my notes. 4-star recruit. He that guy. That's what I.
He that guy. He playing with T. Higgins.
Highlighted. He was playing with T. Do. There's nothing he can't do. Speed, hands, elusiveness. Hey, bro, I was excited when I seen that guy. So I can only hope the best for him. I hopefully he still got it. I heard rumors, people call him lazy, but I don't know if he really lazy or it was the injury hampering him. I guess we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. It'll be an exciting week. Yeah, I'm interested to see what his numbers is and George Pickens from Georgia. I see him. He made some play. I guess I looked at his stats. It didn't look like it was like eye popping stats, but it seemed like he's a playmaker.
Yeah. I didn't put that I like, but he popped out. He had a young breakout age, early declare. 5-star recruit, has
Five-star.
NFL pedigree. Can catch with his hand, track the ball well. I was wondering, is he a possession receiver? Like nothing really popped on tape. I put that he need to improve his speed to make an impact in the NFL, and he did have a season-ended injury. But didn't he come back for the playoffs?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, but
I
he
think he
had a
did.
season-ended.
And
Yeah, he
then
had an injury bit during that season, but he was able to come back.
the combine gonna be big for him too. It's gonna be a major
Hmm.
thing. So then I just
But
some other honorable mentions, and then we can wrap it up. They got um, Jahan Dotson, and I guess
mhm.
that's it. Jahan Dotson, what you
You
got
said,
on
I
there?
guess that's it.
The-
I'm looking for him. Yeah, Jahan Dotson. Yeah, there you go. I really liked him. Penn State, 4-star recruit, special teamer, gets yak, get open, get separation. Yep, he's gonna be nice. Just depends on what kind of draft capital we get, so you get the
yeah,
opportunity you need. But I got him ranked up there. He's in the top 10. Um, I guess one I would throw out there that we'll see what kind of draft capital we get is Wandale Robinson. You know,
yeah.
he looked good, and two, Chris Watson, Christian Watson, was somebody that shined during the Senior Bowl week. So he is someone to look out for to see what kind of draft capital he got, and he got a nice size 6'4", 211.
So yeah. So yeah, those are the players that I sat down on a Saturday and like just remember their names, remember that like they just kind of stood out from time to time. But I guess with this combine coming out, we'll see more players that just all of a sudden come on our radar, and I'll do a deeper dive. We'll do a deeper dive and talk about some fantasy.
Yeah,
You know,
and you definitely when next time you come, you got to tell me what you think about the other high people like Burks and London. You got any
yeah, yeah.
quarterbacks that stand out for you?
Um, just like I said, just watching the ones that like Carroll. I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
Oh,
Matt Corral,
Corral.
Matt Corral. It seemed like he just seemed like an athletic guy. When I just kind of glanced at Ole Miss, it seemed like he was the main person keeping them in the games and making plays.
I do
Um,
remember saying you wasn't impressed by Pickett. I remember you saying he didn't impress you at all.
yeah, I was not impressed by Pickett, but I didn't really scout him out just yet. I ain't gonna say he's a bad quarterback. It just seemed like he wasn't. I gotta scout him out. It was something about him just watching the game. You know, he did
And
carry.
who knows?
I know that pick came from like nowhere, and they won the ACC. So that's a big deal. I know he won a bowl game, so he had a good bowl game. So a lot of people are high on him.
Well, I mean, this not a high quarterback class. It's just that to me, he's the most pro-ready quarterback now. As soon as I threw on the highlights, I just seen him just by how he threw the ball. I was like, oh, he ready. Like I
Yeah,
could tell by how he went back and got rid of the ball. I was like, he ready. That's
he
what I
said he
seen.
ready. Yeah.
Now he did have the highest PFF grade.
Mm-hmm.
As far as numbers from them coming out of high school, he had the highest vertical leap. He had the one of the highest grade for dealing well with pressure for PFF. Um, so that was the main thing I saw. I saw pinpoint passes, can throw on a
Mm-hmm.
run, willing to run, looks polished enough to play in the league now. That was my notes.
Looks
Doesn't
probably.
mind checking it deep, and Heisman Award finalist. So yeah, I think he had the highest QBR also. At the highest QBR.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with guys that like when you come from a program like Pitt and then you win the your conference mean, you're going to win the bowl game. Like he probably was a big factor in that. So you probably won't hear too much from Pitt these next couple
Yeah, I
of years.
mean, his ceiling may only be Kirk Cousins, maybe, you know. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, you can't talk about Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins been playing in the league a long time, you know. But you know, so to me, that's a compliment, you know.
Yeah, I know the other quarterback, like people like to talk about Malik Willis. The reason I didn't say I didn't watch him play either, so I had to do a scouting report, like looking at some old games. But I know he
He,
played in the
he's
Senior
the
Bowl too.
he's the one with the highest ceiling. And I done posted a couple videos talking about him already. So I know my people don't want to hear me talking about him, but they can go back and
Yeah, I saw
look at
that
those
video.
videos.
You said if he goes to Pittsburgh, it's a wrap. You said if he
Oh
go to
yeah,
Pittsburgh, right? If he go,
oh yeah, because when it comes to these quarterbacks, they all kind of lumped in the same tier.
hmm
I'll bet more so on whichever quarterback goes to the better organization. So it don't matter who gets drafted by Pittsburgh. If any one of these quarterbacks get drafted by Pittsburgh, I'm gonna back them up.
So another quarterback I saw, and I saw him play like the quarterbacks that I watched this year. It was like the freshman from Ohio State, yeah, and then the Alabama quarterback. You know, they freshmen and things like that. But Sam Howell, he just I don't know if I was impressed with like his overall talent, but he seemed pretty gritty, and he seemed like he was just like knew how to operate. Like he just seemed like he was a good solid quarterback. Like
I see different things on Sam Howell. One, Sam Howell is kind of small. He's six
yeah,
foot 221, but Sam Howell is the youngest of this class, and
hmm
he is a pure early declare. Like you know, so what the story with Sam Howell is that the year before he had a bunch of talent surrounding him, Michael Carter and I forgot
hmm
who
the running back,
he had a number of
Devontae
players
Green.
surrounding him,
Yeah,
and
Devontae.
then and this year all of them left, and he had to do it all by himself. So he was doing a lot more running than usual, and putting kind of trying to put the team on his shoulders. So he has potential. He has potential.
Yeah, he kind of stood out. He's one that I saw like that. Just watching the game, I was able to see some things that he could produce. But like I said, I didn't see him being to come in and being a starter. Anything like he'll be a backup. And sometimes quarterbacks can develop when you got that grittiness and feistiness. Then you can turn into something. So
Yeah, if he don't get rushed out there right away and
mhm.
able to back up, sit or go to an organization that is good, then he'll be straight. The problem is a lot of these, quarterbacks go to bad organizations. That's
Yeah,
why that's why you don't see too many one-on-ones winning Super Bowls. They go to bad organizations, bad teams, bad organizations. How
because
are you going to dig yourself out of that?
the last quarterback picked in this year's draft had the best season, Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? You going to
So,
New England.
it's hard to climb your way, Do you believe that Matt Jones have more talent than Trevor Lawrence? Hell
he,
no.
had a, he had a
If
better
Trevor
season. Yeah.
if Trevor Lawrence would have went to the Patriots, Bill Belichick probably been walking around with a heart on. He would have lost his mind.
Yeah.
It's like this is the best
Yeah.
thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, and I was high on Justin Fields, and I think he'll turn around, but I was disappointed in the season. Even in the preseason, he looked pretty good. I was like, okay, this is the guy right
Bad
here.
team, bad organization.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
I don't want to say the organization that bad, but lately they've been making some bad decisions. I don't, I haven't seen them be good since probably the '80s or something. I don't know. Been a while since I've seen them be great.
yeah, but so I'm finna get off. I'm finna go check out this U of H game and see if I can make it to the game.
All right. Well, that's all we got for y'all folks. Hope y'all enjoyed. You know, until next time. I don't know when the next time he coming on. Probably after the combine, and we'll see
Yeah,
what he think of the people that made an impression on him on the combine.
yeah. All
All
right,
right,
Big
peace.
T. All right.
All right, man.